This series, it's been all about pitching. Thursday was one of the hottest pitchers in the league. Ricky Romero baffling the A's bats, giving up just 3 hits, went the full 9, shut down Bob Melvin and the boys on 111 pitches. Last night it was Rich Harden's turn, and he did not disappoint. The native Canadian struck out 11, tying a career high as the Athletics even the series. Tonight, it's Gio Gonzalez to the hill. He looks to get back to his first half form. Gio is currently on a 5-game losing streak and would love to get that 10th win. It's game 3 of the series. A's-Jays next. By this fireworks night at the O.co Coliseum. That will come up after the game. But tonight, the A's trying to take the lead in this series, and Gio Gonzalez is trying to right the ship. He has lost 5 straight starts, so that is what's going on tonight here at the Coliseum, and it's game 3 of the 4-game series. The Blue Jays and the Athletics coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kipe. You saw Gio Gonzalez. He will start tonight. And, Ray, during A's pregame tonight, we talked about his breaking ball. Not as sharp as was early in the year, and we think maybe that's been the problem lately.
There's no doubt Gio has a much better curveball than what he's been showing. Maybe because he's been hitting more players, at least earlier he did, and as a result now starts to roll a little bit. But the thing about Gio Gonzalez, he takes the ball every 5th day. He's had a little bit more time because the A's off days, so maybe being back in regular rotation will help him. But he's a much better pitcher than a 9 and 11, especially losing 5 in a row with about an 8 earned run average. That's just not Gio Gonzalez. A great fastball. He's bringing his changeup in quite a bit more, and the curveball, no doubt, is one of the better pitches in baseball. He just needs to throw it hard. Take the chance. If he hits a guy, don't worry about it. He needs to throw it hard instead of have it roll too much.
Jose Bautista right in the middle of the Blue Jays lineup. He's a terrific hitter. 35 home runs, Ray. He's very dangerous. A's have done a pretty good job against him this year, but boy, he is dangerous.
Well, he's a very, very fierce hitter. He swings hard, and when he makes contact, he does a lot of things with the baseball, but also a very disciplined hitter. You see some tape measure shots, but you also watch him, as the case last night, change-ups against Rich Harden. He was taking those pitches, but man, it's fun to watch him swing the bat, to be aggressive, and I think more hitters should have that approach, especially if they know the strike zone, as well as Bautista, because at least when he swings hard and he makes contact, it's very, very scary.
He has just 1 career home run against the Athletics. Let's hope that number stays right there at 1. So it's game 3 of the series. It's the Oakland A's and the Toronto Blue Jays, and fireworks night. A big crowd expected here at the Coliseum. We'll have lineups and first pitch in just a moment.
brought to you by AT&T and by Toyota. The great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
A's and Blue Jays just about set to go from the O.co Coliseum. Game 3 of the 4-game series. Shutouts have been the story in this series. Blue Jays got a shutout in Game 1. A's got the shutout thanks to Rich Harden last night. So we've seen good pitching so far in this series. And it is a 4-gamer with a day game tomorrow to wrap up the series. And for the A's, wrap up the homestand. Game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily, 63 degrees. Fireworks night coming up after the game, and of course a 1 hour earlier start tonight, which sometimes makes the shadows, sunshine, that type of thing part of it, but not tonight. It's kind of a little overcast, so there will be no shadows to deal with. The lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight: Mike McCoy will lead off and play right field. Eric Thames in left. Yunel Escobar hits third and plays shortstop. Adam Lind will DH tonight. Encarnacion's at first. Rasmussen center. Laurie at third. Molina the catcher. John McDonald is the second baseman.
Gio Gonzalez, one start against the Blue Jays in his 5-game losing streak. That was a couple of starts ago in Toronto. He faced Baltimore in his last start and unfortunately picked up the loss in that game. But Gio, a very good pitcher. His ERA has risen a little bit, 3.5, 3.36, not quite to 3.5, but good fastball, curveball, and changeup. Just needs to have all of them working tonight.
A's defense tonight: Sweeney's in left, Crispin center, DeJesus in right, Sogard, Pennington, Weeks, Allen on the infield, and Landon Powell is the catcher. So we're set to go. Gio has finished the warm-up tosses. Mike McCoy steps in. The first pitch is low.
And the Blue Jays in the lineup change just lost 34 home runs.
They sure did. A lineup change literally about 3 minutes ago. And Jose Bautista was taken out of the lineup. Mike McCoy inserted in right field. McCoy was not in the original lineup, so he is in the leadoff spot playing right field. And Escobar, who was in the original leadoff spot, drops down to third. So Bautista out of the lineup. And we do not know the reason why. I'm sure we'll hear something at some point soon.
All we know is, and that is nothing against John Farrell and his right fielder Jose Bautista is out for some reason, but Mike McCoy in. That is a big drop off in the home run production, and a nice fastball from Gio, just challenging with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
So McCoy, the late addition, swinging strikeout to start the game.
Well, Landon Powell with the target inside. That's important for Gio because he finishes his pitches when the target is inside to the right-handers. Think back to a couple of years ago against the Blue Jays in Toronto. He did this exact same thing on a Saturday afternoon. He was blowing fastball by all kinds of fastball hitters. Did a very good job.
Neck tightness is what we're told is why Bautista was scratched from the lineup. Eric Thames shoots one right back up the middle, right past Gio Gonzalez. Gio may have heard that one.
Gio might have a sore neck after that one. And someone said this was a radio ball. You could hear it come right past you. And boy, that's fortunate Gio was able to get out of the way. His glove reaching back. That was after the ball was already landing in center field. That's how hard it was hit by Eric Thames, who, again tonight, with a large contingency of family and friends. Growing up in the San Jose area and Development Prep School. Nice young man.
So here's Escobar now in the third spot. 289 with 10 homers, 41 RBIs for Escobar, but he is struggling big time. 0 for his last 12. And look at the numbers from this series. 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts. He had no fun against Rich Harden last night, and actually nobody did.
But talking to Rich Harden after the game, he was just still pumped up. That was after he had gone through his interview process and the icing and everything, but really excited to have 2 consecutive wins against the Blue Jays.
Toward right field, DeJesus is there to make the catch.
In the Dodge Charger, keys to the game for Gio. finish the season strong. He did last season in picking up his 15th win, his final start, went over the 200 inning mark, and try to contain the Jays lineup. Of course, Bautista's not in there, but still a very good hitting lineup.
Number 26, Adam Lind.
Important thing for Gio Gonzalez as they are approaching, this is his 25th start, and you're looking at maybe with the remainder of the season 6-7 starts for each starter.
Fastball up and into Lind. This is game number 126 for the Athletics.
Eric Thames at first. Of course, he had a quad injury and a hamstring injury. He has not attempted a stolen base this season. And whenever he got on base the first night, Bob Melvin kind of wondered why he was not running. But he had some leg problems. That's what dropped him down in the draft a little bit. But the Blue Jays drafted him, and third year in pro ball, he's in the big leagues.
And that hits Adam Lind. Looks like he's holding his right arm. That would be the lead arm.
You can hear the thud all the way up here, and that's not a good sign. That was a good fastball, low 90s, and Lind just could not get out of the way. Gio's control has not been spectacular in his start against the Blue Jays. He walked 5, target inside to Lind, and
that's a direct shot.
Yes, it is. Pull it in. Oh, the hand too. Forearm and a hand, and fist the hand. As we know, there are a lot of small bones in the hand, and tried to pull it in, but then you have the bat on the handle. And that's just a solid baseball hitting the hand solidly with the bat. George Poulos, the trainer, one of the trainers for the Blue Jays, long-time trainer. Grab some ice. At least tonight, Lind is a DH, so he'll have time. He does not have to play in the field as Encarnacion is playing first base tonight, so that'll help him be able to get some treatment, some ice on
the in the 5th position,
the area in which he was hit.
Number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
So 2 on, 2 out for Encarnacion. Encarnacion, another guy who did not have much of a chance against Rich Harden. Encarnacion 0 for 4 last night, a couple of strikeouts. Blue Jays with a 64-61 record. They're in 4th place. 4 games behind the Rays. 33-32 on the road for Toronto. As far as these 2 teams go, they have split 8 games so far this season. 2 more to go. Oh, 2 to Encarnacion. 12 home runs, 38 runs batted in.
See, that's a curveball, and still it more in the middle of the plate. Yeah, it's kind of getting under and rolling. Looking back the notes, his 4th start against the Red Sox. That's a home run hit by Jed Lowry here at the Coliseum. Red Sox defeated the A's in that game. Gio's first loss of the season. Kind of a fine line in between where he wants to throw it and where it ends up. Another one back door, but ideally if he gets on top and throws it hard down and in to the right-handers, that's where we saw a lot of the strikeouts early in the season. You just have to depend on your catcher. In this case, Landon Powell catching Gio for the 3rd time this season. Just know that he's going to block it.
A lot of curveballs, 28%. And that one to right field, and that's a base hit. Here comes Thames. DeJesus's throw to the plate is there. Powell has it skip over his head. The run scores, and the runners end up at second and third. DeJesus made a very good throw, but kind of took a big hop. And Landon Powell could not grab it. Thames slides in, and it's 1-0 Toronto.
Well, that's a situation where Landon Powell was trying to block the plate and at the same time catch the ball, but this is a hanging curveball, and Encarnacion, with the pitch away from him, just shot it out to right field at one hop, and of course with 2 outs on contact, the runner's running. But watch Landon block the plate, and then the ball just skipped, and when it has a short hop like that, Landon's got the big leg there, and had he come up with it, might have been called out, but it's a very tough play to handle, especially with the short hop and hitting the grass like it did.
So Encarnacion gets his 39th RBI. Here's Colby Rasmus. Well, we spent a lot of time already talking about the breaking ball from Gio Gonzalez.
The slide of Thames, actually the leg went right through the legs, the wickets of Landon Powell. But the curveballs he threw to Encarnacion, not one was inside. Everything was outside or to the middle of the plate. And that's just not the Gio curveball we've been accustomed to seeing. Here's a good one, especially to a lefty. A lot of times the lefties can see the break on the curveball and they will take the pitch. That one just happened to be called a strike.
Combined numbers for Rasmus. Two pitches, fastball. With the Blue Jays, Rasmus with 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and a .241 average. Another fastball, this one a bit outside.
'21st pitch coming up, and that's after a 4-pitch strikeout with McCoy to start the game with good fastballs. Then he started incorporating the curveball.
Another breaking ball way outside. So it was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. 21 pitches here in the first inning for Gio Gonzalez. Trying to get out of the jam. Payoff pitch. Outside with a fastball, and there's the walk, so the bases will be loaded for Brett Lawrie.
Ron Romanek is going to visit with his pitcher, and very similar to last night when the A's and the Blue Jays, of course, met, and it was the first inning in which bases loaded. Here we are again. Oh, that was a nobody out. Rich Harden got out of it. Well, we unfortunately remember what happened in Toronto against Craig Breslow. Fastball and grand slam, 7th game of the World Series. It's over. That's the way he reacted. Like Joe Carter.
So the first pitch to Lawrie. So Lawrie, 367 is the average, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Lawrie in this series, 3 for 7 with a double. He takes outside 2-0. Be careful here. He's a very aggressive hitter, and a very powerful hitter. And he gets jammed. It's a little pop-up foul territory, and Allen has it. Side retired. So the Blue Jays get 1, and they leave them loaded half an inning. 1-0 Toronto. Blue Jays get a run, 1-0, bottom of the first, and let's check out the Athletics lineup. Weeks, Pennington, Crisp, so 3 switch hitters at the top of the lineup. Matsui, Allen, Sweeney, DeJesus, Powell, Sogard. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I see 9 left-handed hitters in the lineup.
That's good.
Wow. Take a double look there just to make sure.
Henderson Alvarez, a young man who made his major league debut against the Athletics in Toronto, a game that he picked up no decision. That was the game that Lowry hit the grand slam. But he did go 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits. He gave up a solo home run to David DeJesus.
Blue Jays defense. Thames in left, Rasmussen center, McCoy in right, Lowry, Escobar, McDonald, Encarnacion, and one of the Molina brothers, Jose Molina, is the catcher tonight.
The A's have 9 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight.
Let me check.
You're right, Joshua. 1940.
Yeah.
Wow. Wonder who came up with that note.
So Connie Mack went with the left-handed hitting lineup that night.
Against the Red Sox, first game of a doubleheader, lost 16-8 or 1-16. But I think Jose Molina is a very good catcher, along with his brother Benji, who was retired, and Yadier, who's with the Cardinals. He can set up in one pattern, all lefties. Doesn't have to worry about, at least as long as the right-handers in the lineup. But I'd have to say that John Farrell might be thinking about his lefty in the bullpen. Whoever's available. All these lefties, of course, the switch hitters too, helps.
So 1-1, 2 weeks, hitting .291. This guy's with the center field, hit pretty well. Rasmus goes back, turns around, he's under it, 1 out. So Weeks, fly ball to center field.
Jemiah, of course, has hit some fly balls, but as we know, and he knows, he's better when he gets line drives and ground balls. Now, A's are going to New York, where it's impossible almost for anybody to hit a home run in center field. Fenway Park is, they're trying to go out in right center, and center field's horrible. Cleveland, I mean, you're trying to go to the deepest part of the yard, regardless. It's at least 400 feet, and that's no fun to try to do that.
1 out for Pennington. So Henderson Alvarez, the youngster, just 20 years old.
Good fastball in the low to mid 90s. Hit top out about 97. We saw in Toronto. He's got some good sinking action on his fastball. I'm a power sinker. Unusual setup in his windup where he has his left foot in front of his right foot. As he sets up, see the percentage of fastball, 70%. A few sliders, change-ups he'll throw.
He's not a big guy, 6'1", 175 pounds, from Venezuela. But he was signed as an undrafted free agent at the age of 16 by the Blue Jays.
Well, his idol's probably one Felix Hernandez, who
looks like him.
Yeah.
Not nearly as big, but the windup is very similar.
From Valencia, Venezuela. Guillermo Moscoso, who's pitching tomorrow for the A's from Maracay, Venezuela, about 30 minutes away. I know that because Tigres. I was in Valencia. The Tigres of Maracay. David Concepcion, one of the big players there from that area. They had huge iguanas up in the trees. They just went to sleep. And
yeah, they just sat in the trees, right?
And then they fall down and go flat. They wake up. I mean, they just kind of not sleepwalking, sleeping.
It's like,
and,
it's like you or I falling out of a hammock.
Yeah. Well, but when you're out by the pool, they make this huge noise. They go, and it scares everybody, but they're harmless. They eat bugs, They get the pool and scare you, but they're harmless.
That one's ripped to right field. Mike McCoy's racing back, and it's going to be over his head. Takes a big hop off the wall, and Pennington has a double.
Well, you talk about a short, quick stroke by Cliff Pennington, and that's with a 3-2 count. You figure he might jack up a little bit and try to hit one out, but look how short he is. Just quick. And he jumped all over it. McCoy had to go over his head so quickly. But a ball hit very hard by Cliff Pennington. That sounded great. Result just as good. Penny hitting in the second spot between second and ninth, depending on the pitcher, whether right or lefty.
So Coco will try to drive him in. Hitless in this series. Coco's in a bit of a slump right now. 2 hits in his last 22 at bats.
Cliff Penning watch the front foot, raise a little bit, and then just quick. Well, again, that's a 3-2. So many times the pitcher will throw something off speed, 3-2 count instead of just a fastball. But Pennington waited just like it was going to be something off speed and reacted on a good fastball.
Just a bit outside. Alvarez went with the changeup. 2-0. Matsui in the on deck circle. Your umpires. Jerry Davis is the home plate umpire and the crew chief tonight. Down around the knees for a strike.
Well, that's just exactly how umpires change from day to day. We get a home plate umpire. Last night it was Greg Gibson who would not call the low strike. Tonight it's much different with the home plate umpire, the crew chief, Jerry Davis.
Liner off of Laurie's glove into left field. Pennington, who had to make sure the line drive went through, so he stopped and actually took a couple steps back towards second base, which would be the right thing to do.
Absolutely. With no bar, 1 out, line drive in front, you're automatically supposed to stop, make sure the line drive goes through. You don't want to advance. Watch Cliff. Stop. Ball passed. He was not going to score. He wouldn't have scored if the ball had been cleanly hit the left field, because Thames playing very shallow. But Coco, no stride, and a hard shot past Laurie, who was playing even with the bag. That's the beauty of the possibility of a bunt. It forces a third baseman to play even with the bag, try to take away the bunt.
So Matsui steps in. Scoring opportunity for the A's here in the first inning. Matsui with 11 homers, 60 RBIs.
Now Cliff Pennington stop, hit back to second, now go to third base, and that's just very smart base running. That's something that yesterday afternoon prior or during batting practice, Ty Waller, A's first base coach, outfield coach, and base running, had a couple of guys at second base talking about leads, and just smart base running there.
Matsui hoops one to left field, and that'll drop for a base hit. Pennington will trot home, and the A's have answered back here in the bottom of the first to tie the game.
Back-to-back opposite field hits. Coco Crisp now. Matsui, look at that post-off storm break. Unbelievable what he has done since the break. And Matsui with a pitch away, Molina outside, hoping to roll over on the pitch. Instead, the veteran Matsui just goes perfectly to the opposite field. And Molina might be saying, well, he just got a single, not a home run, but that's a very important single because it does tie the game.
So Brandon Allen steps in. First pitch is a strike. Allen 9 hits and 23 at bats. That's good for a .391 average with the Athletics. A couple of RBIs. Those are his numbers with the A's and the D-backs. 3 home runs. Game 1 of the series, Allen was 1 for 4. He was 0 for 4 last night. Swing and a miss. Good sinking fastball, 94 miles an hour.
El Tiante, Louis Tiant, turns it back. Turn it back to the hitter and then spun back, and that's something that Felix Hernandez does a little bit more now. Makes it a little difficult to pick up the baseball out of the pitcher's hand.
Setting up inside, the 1-2 pitch. Just missed inside, and the ball gets kicked. And both runners are going to move up. I think it was it kicked by the umpire?
It was hit. It hit the umpire. Jose Molina missed it, and you don't get any help. Actually, he got help initially because the ball hits Jerry Davis. It goes through the catcher's mitt.
Umpire kicked it.
And then Jerry, with his right foot, kicked it, but it's unintentional. And Jose really didn't go after it hard, but it should be a pass ball because he missed it clear. The ball was about a foot off the ground. I think Jose was asking Jerry if he's going to call the ball dead because he did kick it. It is a pass ball.
So 2-2, so that's a break for the Athletics. Allen cannot take advantage as he swings and misses.
Probably did not swing at a strike in the at-bat. Turned his back again a little bit, and he got the two-seam fastball down, and the pitches that Allen swung at were in that same vicinity, clearly out of the strike zone.
So 2 outs, and here's Sweeney. Fastball down around the knees for a strike. .285 the average for Ryan Sweeney. He's starting in left field tonight. Josh Willingham is getting the night off, even though he hit the home run last night.
Well, he's got the Achilles tendon problem, and I think it's just a matter of day game tomorrow after the night game tonight. He's been playing whether left field or DHing, and just time to get him off his feet. And he's right-handed batter. Maybe
can't be in there tonight.
No, maybe Jose Bautista felt a little bit. I figured if their home run hitter is out, I'll take myself out. It's true. So he's not in the lineup. Connor Jackson, the bearded one, the right-hander on his side. Kurt Suzuki, also right-handed hitter.
Sweeney gets jammed, dribbles one. First base line. It's picked up and kicked, and it's a foul ball. The home plate umpire, Jerry Davis, called it.
And correctly. Well, for a young man, he did not go after that ball very well. He figures to be a little bit more athletic than that, but fortunately for him, Alvarez that is, that the ball hit the grass and then trickled foul. At that point, when he kicked up on the heel of his glove, it was in foul territory.
Close, though.
Yep.
See, that's still a fair ball when it hits the chalk, and then it just went foul, but very close.
Thing is, he was trying to catch it and get the out. It was not trying to. Guy knows he thinks he does not have a chance. He'll make sure the ball goes foul.
So another 1-2 to Sweeney. Grounded, nice play by the pitcher Alvarez, who went to his knees to make the catch. Flips to first. Sweeney's retired. He's going to run on 3 hits. 1-1 game after 1. baseball and Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cash Creek's Money Tree. Win $500 cash every hour from noon until 11 p.m. Visit cashcreek.com for details. One game after one is Jose Molina to lead it off. He shows bunt. Decides to take a strike.
Remember Tony Batista?
Yeah.
Third baseman. The stance. Check out Benji. So Tony Batista a little bit different, but he's looking right at the pitcher and then squares up and saw him in the batting cage and said, Tony started the stance toward the end of last year. He's hit about 400. This year it's hit 310. Good job for John Farrell as a backup catcher. Whatever works.
Well, if you're a backup catcher and you're hitting 300, you could play probably as long as you want to.
Batista had the hands down lower.
Heads up right over the Blue Jays dugout.
Gio Gonzalez made a great pitch to Brett Lowry to get the final out. Jammed him on a 2-0 fastball inside, and then his club tied the game. Now it's starting fresh for Gio, and he can get his club back in the dugout as quickly as possible. And that's the curveball he wants to throw. It was not swung at by Molina.
%78%. Better than the average. Jam shot. Sogard has it. And that is out number 1. So that one got right in under Molina's hands.
Well, you have to know your hitters, too. And the Molinas, you know, Yadier might run a little bit better, but Benji never did. Jose, although hit for the cycle. Or was that Benji? Benji hit the cycle. Triple in Boston, but Jose and the Molinas have always been excellent catchers. Benji and Jose with the Angels at the same time. Benji last year with the Giants and the Rangers.
John McDonald goes after the first pitch. Fly ball to right field.
See, Benji should have last year gotten a World Championship ring and an American League Championship ring. I know he got the American League Championship ring.
So he got a World Series ring.
Yeah, so he got both of them.
Yep. It's a good year.
Yeah, so he was a champion and a champion.
He had it covered. How about that?
Benji did a great job with both the Giants and the Rangers. And Jose still catching, as well as younger brother Yadier Molina.
Yadier's got a World Series ring with the Cardinals. Mike McCoy, broken bat, slowly hit. Pennington on the move, throws low. Allen digs it out. Nice play by Brandon Allen, and Gio Gonzalez has a 3-up, 3-down inning.
Olympic Kids exercise mat presented by Washington Hospital. This all-foam mat in A's green is a great giveaway for your active kids. For more information and to purchase tickets, we hope you do. Go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. If not, we'll be right here on Comcast Sportsnet California in high definition, as always, for the series and homestand finale tomorrow afternoon.
DeJesus, Powell, and Sogard here in the bottom of the second inning. He's got a run on 3 hits in the first. Matsui with the RBI single. DeJesus hitting .231 with 8 homers and 35 runs batted in. 0 for 3 in the series.
Remember the ball that David hit in Toronto against Alvarez, straightaway center field. Central field at Rogers Center. Crushed it.
So 3-0 to DeJesus. That one on the inside corner first drive. DeJesus not in the lineup last night. Hunter Jackson played right field. Oh, very late call for time.
Wow. David
got a break there.
Yes, he did. And actually, he looked back at Jerry Davis, and if he was asking for time at that time, Jerry just said, no way. It would have been ball 4.
Yep.
Now, this was in Toronto, the home run by David DeJesus, straightaway center field, a low fastball, and boy, just kept carrying over. Last was hit in center. This is eighth home run. He only hit one in the game too. 3 times this year he's hit 2 home runs in a game.
So the payoff. Swung at ball 4, pitch that was inside. Another bouncer foul.
I'd mentioned in the past when A's would play the Angels and Irvin Santana pitch that Benjamin Molina, very instrumental in the development of Santana, especially throwing breaking pitches, 3-1, 3-2, fastball hitters counts, and Jose's the same way. That was a changeup, 3-2, and fortunately David got a piece of the ball at 86, a very good changeup.
And there is the changeup, and DeJesus ends up striking out. So 1 out here in the second inning.
Well, and like Allen, these are not strikes, but boy, you're swinging at the delivery, the motion of the pitcher, and enough at Allen, and now DeJesus not able to make contact on balls clearly out of the strike zone. You know, if a young pitcher is smart, he'll do exactly what Alvarez is doing tonight. Not shake. He's got a veteran behind the plate. Jose Molina knows the league, knows the hitters. And it makes it very easy on a pitcher just to get a sign and throw the pitch. The pitch is exactly what you want to do.
184 the average for Powell. Behind in the count 0-2. Swing and a miss, and that's a pretty good pitch right there by Henderson Alvarez.
Did not throw him a fastball in the at bat. Change up, slider, and then maybe another harder change up or hard sinker, but between 86 and 89 miles per hour. If you don't hit that much, you're not behind the plate as Landon Powell. That's not fair. You're saying, throw me a fastball, at least give me a chance. I remember the kid's name was Lyles, 20-year-old, started for Houston tonight against the Giants, the youngest. And then you got this young man, and these kids are just in high school a couple years ago, and here they are pitching Major League Baseball.
Sogard bounces one foul. Well, you can see why teams certainly are taking a chance when you sign a Latin player at a very young age, which you're allowed to do. They have to be 16 years old. You see it quite a bit because, well, if they're good, they're going to get to the big leagues at a very, very young age. Colby Rasmus is under it, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Henderson Alvarez. 1-1 game as we head to the third. Choose the greatest athletic of all time. We rank the top 64, and now it's up to you to vote for your favorites through our bracket-style tourney. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for A's baseball all season long. And Eric Thames on the first pitch drops a single in the right field, so Thames is 2 for 2. So the leadoff man is aboard here in the top of the third for the Blue Jays.
Eric was saying that family have a big tailgate party this weekend, so a lot of the family and friends here. And he said, you know, tell me about the time whenever players used to get complimentary tickets. You know, you could come into a town and you could ask other players and maybe get 50 or 60 for free. And I said, yeah, those were the good times. I said, take a look at your next paycheck when see what happens to all these tickets you've left. He says, well, I've been trying to say no, but so my mother's doing a good job. Said you better get help someplace because that will eat up a paycheck very quickly.
Well, you could just call the A's ticket office and buy a few.
Oh.
Just a suggestion. 1-1 to Escobar.
And all that matters is they're all here cheering for their young man, friends and family. He did say, go to New York and Boston, he said, I get messages from people that I hardly remember. And all of a sudden, hey, remember me?
No, I really don't.
Just say no. Martin, like he is going to be in Lynn's place.
Lynn was hit by a pitch in the first inning on like the right wrist area.
Yeah. And that's not surprising. I mean, sure, he stayed in the game, but when he starts to swell, the best thing to do is cautionary, get some ice on it, maybe an x-ray just to see and make sure. So your hands are so important in this game. Hitting, throwing, doing whatever you're doing to play the game.
Swing and a miss by Escobar, so Escobar's struggles continue. the 7th time he has struck out in this series.
As a curveball, but still not the one that he wanted down and in. This started outside, bringing it back to the outside corner of the plate. And granted, that is a good curveball. It's a good pitch. But I think Gio is at his best when he throws it inside, especially to the right-handers. He's kind of in between with his curveball. Still a very good pitch for him.
Runner going, and Powell, he was going to throw it, and the ball just kind of squirted out of his hand, kind of popped up. So Thames will get a stolen base.
Well, Landon might have been a little bit too quick here as a transfer, and he does have quick feet, strong arm, but the transfer just did not work for him. Popped straight up, and no chance at that point, and that is the first stolen base for Eric Thames. First attempt. First move.
I'm going.
First everything. That's first of his career, and I guess from his standpoint, he's happy to be running well. Might have been a hit and run with the hitter Martin, but he's able to steal and get swarm position.
0-2 pitch and a breaking ball, strike 3 called. Tehan could not pull the trigger. So back-to-back strikeouts for Gonzalez after the leadoff single.
Probably going to run upstairs and Adam Lynn, I thank you very much for this opportunity to get in the lineup tonight. And Gio just threw his best fastballs and best curveball to Martin. And we hope Adam Lynn's okay, because it's not fun when you get hit in the hand like that.
So here's Encarnacion, who had the RBI single in the first inning. Dropped a base hit into right field that scored Thames. Got a fastball that time, and when Encarnacion thinks he's going to get a fastball, he lets her rip. Open stance. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, 1-2. That's
the one.
About the one where you want it to be.
Good sharp bite and down low. Does not loop like the one earlier. And the back foot, the right foot of the right-hand hitter, that's perfect location for Gio's curveball. Going back inside again, whether it's a fastball or a curve. Hitter.
Encarnacion, a little late, pops a foul back just above the Jays dugout. Another 1-2, breaking ball, and Encarnacion strikes out. So Gio, after giving up the leadoff hit, strikes out 3 in a row. He's got 4 on the night. Weeks, Pennington, and Crisp.
Pearl Harbor survivor right
Yeah.
there. Nice gentleman who interviewed between innings and talked about his service, and he said, I love my country. I've spent a lot of time in the service and I love my country, and I'm very proud of you, my friend. That's great. Made no bones about it, telling everybody here at the Coliseum tonight.
1-1 to Weeks, who hit a fly ball to center field. First at bat.
It's a good pitch to lay off, and I think from the A's hitter standpoint, watching Allen and Landon Powell, Jesus swing at pitches out of the strike zone down, and maybe be a bit more patient. Try to pick up something from Alvarez that he's doing to tip off those low pitches and basically not swing at pitchers' pitches.
Broken bat toward the second baseman McDonald. You saw Encarnacion have to hustle back to first. He does so. 4-3 on the putout. Here's our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Gene from Tracy asked, Ray, I remember when Sandy Koufax pitched, in between innings he would ice his elbow. Why don't players do that today?
Sandy Koufax had a bad elbow.
He had a bad elbow.
That's the reason he had left his great career early. They do their icing after the game. It's, you know, I don't know that I've ever seen a pitcher put a jacket on to stay warm, stay loose, but I've never ever seen a pitcher ice his elbow or shoulder. But definitely after the game, you'll see infielders, outfielders, pitchers, especially pitchers with the ice. But maybe because Sandy's elbow was so bad, and again, he had to leave Hall of Fame career early. Maybe he did it just so he could go back out and pitch.
I don't know exactly how many years he pitched, but what, 6 or 7?
Well, it had to be 10. You have to have 10 to be qualified for the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
But that was it. But I don't think he didn't win 200 games. I think it's about 170, 180 or something. I don't know. Maybe BI could look up numbers for Sandy Koufax to tell us exactly how many years and wins. But it was basically because of his elbow that he had to retire prematurely.
Well, and listen, it's always fun to talk about, but you wonder what was really wrong with his elbow and what would he have done today?
Oh, Tommy John surgery?
Exactly. Yeah. Probably. And he threw a lot of hard breaking balls too, right?
Curveball right over the top, and he and Don Drysdale, Maury Wills would get on base, steal second, go to third, score on an infield or a fly ball. 12 years, 165 wins. Thank you, B.I.
Base hit right field for Coco Crisp.
But the Dodgers won 1-0, and that was it. And Koufax pitched a shutout, or Drysdale would.
So 165 wins.
But you know what they say, that if you are at your best in your 10-year period of time that you play, basically a Hall of Famer, just like Kirby Puckett, because of glaucoma, he had to retire prematurely. So same for Koufax, and there's definitely nobody better than him during that period of time.
So he may have been icing his arm just to make it feel a little bit better for the next couple innings.
Exactly. Let's see if Coco Crisp, who has not been running a lot lately because he hasn't been playing a lot. He had a calf injury, but 2 outs. If he runs to get the scoring position.
Matsui had the RBI hit in the first inning, knocking in his 61st run this season.
It's like this: a hitter or a runner might not steal, take the bat out of a hitter's hand, and might hit a home run, but Matsui, he gets a runner in scoring position, he's going to be pitched away anyway, not be given a pitch that he might be able to try to pull for a home run.
Goes down and gets this one, but rips it foul. A's now with 4 hits in the game. Blue Jays have 3. Francisco. He threw up a little flare there. He took a couple steps towards second. Scripps still leading the American League in stolen bases with 37. No, not quite as many lately. Brett Gardner of the Yankees has 36. Rajai Davis has 34.
He may not get any more this year, though. That hamstring, that torn hamstring, he's probably out for the season. That happened after we saw him in Toronto just last road trip.
Yeah, because he played a couple games, or one for sure. He was in the lineup.
As we'll see, Jacoby Ellsbury, who is the top of the list in stolen bases, or at least close to Coco, and of course he's hitting home runs now in addition to his stolen bases.
He's having a great year. One-two pitch to Matsui. Rolls that one. A diving play by McDonald, gets it from his knees and throws out Matsui. Side retired. Nice play by John McDonald. Nothing for the A's.
Why not check out the A's Barbecue Terrace? The Barbecue Terrace includes a catered pregame meal and a game ticket in a private lower box seating area. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit oaklandathletics.com/groups. And if Chef Rodney serves you food out there, which he probably will, you will be eating outstanding food. Chef Rodney's one of the best.
Nice night at the ballpark. A little chilly, but nothing a jacket can't take care of. 0-1 to Colby Rasmus, who has a big swing. He fouls it back. Colby Rasmus walked in the first inning.
Well, it's good to see the curveball working very well for Gio. So last inning, struck out the side, all three with curveballs. A couple of the right-handers, and then Martin, who came in for Adam Lind.
Again, slowly hit. Allen picks it up, steps on the bag, and that's out number one. Here's our McDonald's true story. June 1st of this year, Toronto becomes the first major league team in 30 years. He had 3 straight triples. Thames, and then Rajai Davis. And then Jason Nix. It was in the 5th inning against the Cleveland Indians. Montreal was the last club to do it. Mike Gates, Tim Raines, Tim Wallach did it against the Padres way back in 1981. So 3 consecutive triples. June 1st of this year. First pitch strike to Brett Lawrie. Laurie popped out in foul territory with the bases loaded in the first inning. Gio's fastball gets in on the hands of Laurie again. Pop up to right field, 2 outs.
Maybe one of the biggest pitches for Gio came in the first inning with Brett Laurie, and that was the bases loaded. And he might have been thinking grand slam as he did in Toronto, but ever since that pop-up foul, Gio retired the side in order in the second. A leadoff hit to Thames last inning, struck out the side, so he's now retired 5 consecutive. And with a mixture of pitches, not any change-ups, if any.
Molina reaches for it, pokes it toward left center. Sweeney's there. 7-pitch inning for Gio Gonzalez, and we're headed to the bottom of the 4th, all tied at 1. You are the 4 players to win Gold Gloves for the Athletics in the 1980s.
Dwayne Murphy did.
The big hint. Allen, Sweeney, and DeJesus against Henderson Alvarez. The young right-hander, just 20 years old. He's with 4 hits in the game. They've stranded 3, and Alvarez has struck out 3. He's not walked anybody. He's retired 8 of the last 9.
One of the best outfields the A's had in the early 80s with the Billy Martin era, Billy Ball. Team that ran a lot, had a very good starting staff. Tony Armas, Dwayne Murphy, and Ricky Henderson. It's a pretty good outfit. I don't know if all 3 won the Gold Gloves, but
could have.
They were one of the best combined outfield in all of baseball.
This one bounced into right field, and that's a base hit for Allen.
That's a nice adjustment by Brandon Allen. He forced the right-hander Alvarez to get the fastball up. Murph in center field. Oh, I just saw one. But Murph always lost his hat. Every time he'd start to run, his hat would come up. And between Ricky and Murph, and saw Michael Norris also in there. Michael was a very good fielder, fielding pitcher. 6-time Gold Glove winner, so there's one of them.
He's walking a lot better as well.
He's about 4 inches taller, too.
Good for him.
I saw Murph last year. I said, Murph, you seem to have gotten taller. He said, no, I got 2 new knees.
Good for him.
He had replacements. He said his knees were bowing so much that, well, when he got new ones, he straightened up quickly. He's a good man. He's really done a good job with the Blue Jays. And Cito Gaston took over. Murph came in with him and they worked together with this hitting club. And Cito decided to retire in the front office, the Blue Jays. Murph's job with the hitters, and well, they have really taken hold.
Sweeney chases that hard sinker, moving down and away, and rolls it foul. 2-1 the count. Sweeney bounced back to the pitcher to end the first inning. Changeup called a strike. Really pretty much a two-pitch guy.
Yeah, an occasional slider, but mostly fastballs and changeups. We saw the breakdown. I think it was, what, 70 and 24. 70% fastballs, 24% changeups.
This one bounced. McDonald can't make a play. It scoots into right field, and Allen's going to go to third.
Boy, and you're seeing something rare there. John McDonald, one of the best infielders, and he'll make spectacular plays. That ball ate him up a little bit. It looked like he's going to take it to the side, spin, and throw to second, start a possible double play. But maybe the top spin, Ryan Sweeney, and watch McDonald just to his left there, and was getting ready to turn, never came up with the ball. And I think Brandon Allen, on his own, looked back and saw the ball into the outfield and took off to third base without having to look to Mike Gallego. That man's pretty smart at third base, running the bases, and he stands at third.
So it's an error on McDonald, first and third, nobody out for DeJesus. First pitch is outside.
Brandon Allen was at third when he first joined the ball club. I think it's after his triple, and infield's playing in. Mike Gallego said, make sure the ball goes through. And Gags was telling me that as Allen, with the ball coming, he started darting down the line. And Gags got a little concerned after a couple of times. He said, you understand now, make sure the ball goes through. And Allen simply said, I know that, but I don't want the infielders to know that. So he's a thinking man.
Sure.
And that was pretty smart on a young player's standpoint. And knowing that he knew what he was going to be doing, but he did not want the infielders to know. The man's got some talent. We're getting a chance to see it in this homestand.
So 1-1 to DeJesus, who struck out in the second inning. And he's off the high fastball. Allen at third and Sweeney at first. Way outside, 3-1. So the A's in the driver's seat here in the fourth inning.
All of a sudden, a lot of fastballs from the right-hander, and maybe Molina trying to induce a ground ball double play. A couple of ground balls have been hit to the right side, one into right field, the other an E4.
So we'll see what he goes with on 3-1. Loop down the left field line, and it's going to be a foul ball just off the glove of Thames.
He catches that ball when one run's going to score, and Sweeney might have been at third base, considering the time it would have taken for Thames to get up. But a nice effort with the ball slicing away from the left fielder. But Brandon Allen did exactly what you should do with a foul ball, and that's stay at the bag, tag, and ball just off the tip of the glove. Landed on the grass nicely, but then ended up scooting on the gravel. Whew.
3-2 pitch. DeJesus bounces one toward McDonald. He'll spin, go to second for one. Double play. Allen comes in to score, so the A's grab the 2-1 lead. So no RBI for DeJesus.
I think David would have preferred that Thames make the catch, considering what happened, but rolled over on a pitch that was up a little bit, but movement. And John McDonald, a little flip to Escobar with a tailor-made 4-6-3 double play.
So 2 outs. Here's Landon Powell. He bounces one. McDonald's busy. Handles the in-between hop. Side retired. A run, a hit, an error, and the A's take a lead 2-1 after 4.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ace Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Come try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99 plus tax at Jack in the Box. It's at participating restaurants.
The Pyro Spectacular. Well, they do a lot of work behind the center field area. Nice choreographed music by the Diamond Vision folks and David Don, Troy Smith, among others over in Diamond Vision, and of course it will be to the Elvis tunes tonight.
And a nice crowd tonight, right? 28,434. So
nice.
Seen a good ball game so far. Fireworks after the game.
Very nice pitching performance so far by Gio Gonzalez. He's retired 6 straight. 13 pitches in the 3rd inning, just 7 last inning. After 25 in the 1st, he had 9 in the 2nd. Took a little time to get loose, but since then he's pitched very well.
1-2 to McDonald, who hit a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning. One bounce toward Weeks, who's got it. That's out number 1. 7 in a row retired by Gio Gonzalez. So top of the order, and Mike McCoy.
Gio's last start, the A's had 4 consecutive hits in the 2nd inning. Unfortunately, could only score 2 runs. And very similar to tonight's game, a 2-1 lead going into the game late, 7th inning. Then he loaded the bases and came out. So he'll try to take care of business on his own tonight. Pitch count is great. And facing a Bautista Les lineup,
which is nice.
Pretty powerful right-handed batter to not have in the lineup to have to worry about.
Well, now Adam Lind is out as well, so that certainly helps the Athletics. McCoy hits a high fly ball, routine. Coco Crisp is there. 2 outs.
Well, Adam Levin, the first inning, fastball in, and boy, it was about 93, and tried to pull back but could not.
Number 46, Eric.
And not surprising that he is in the clubhouse, and we hope okay. But just the sound alone made it hurt.
Eric Thames has had a good night. He's 2 for 2. A couple of singles. Scored the only run for the Blue Jays. That was in the first inning, and he also stole a base. And he drills this one to right center field, but DeJesus is over there, and he's got it. Side retired. 9 in a row retired by Gio Gonzalez. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 2-1 A's. Of the 5th inning. That's kids at the ball game tonight due to the fireworks and a little earlier start. 6 o'clock start tonight. Sogard, Weeks, and Pennington to face Henderson Alvarez. And on the ground to Encarnacion. So one out here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's our AT&T trivia answer. Who are the 4 players to win Gold Gloves for the Athletics in the 1980s? Well, certainly we showed you Dwayne Murphy. No surprise there. Well, Mike Norris won a couple Gold Gloves. So did Ricky Henderson and Alfredo Griffin in 1985.
Raymond did not. Raymond knows we're talking about Murph. Look at him right there. Now, Alfredo Griffin, the former Blue Jay. The Athletics, and unfortunately a former Dodger, came back to haunt the A's. And now with Mike Scioscia, first base coach, been there for about 10 years.
Alfredo Griffin started with the Indians, did he not? As a very young club. Jemiah Weeks to left field, and that'll be a base hit. Weeks has his first hit, a 1-out single.
So I think one of the best and the easiest money guy ever made is Jemiah Weeks with 2 strikes, actually a strike and a ball after flying deep to center in his first at bat. Gets back to his normal game, shooting the ball to left field. A nice opposite field hit.
So Pennington steps in. He doubled and scored in the first inning. also hit a fly ball to center field. That was in the third. That was pitch number 80 for Henderson Alvarez. This is just his third major league start. Weeks challenges Jose Molina. Weeks with 13 steals on the year. He's been thrown out 7 times.
Lately, the A's have not been running a lot.
No, they haven't. For a while, they were a lot.
Jose Molina is one of the quickest throwing. Molina's always have done a good job of throwing. A lot of times that could take away any possibility of running.
So another 1-2 to Pennington. That would throw the first before that. And the A's with 84 steals on the year. That's 9th best in the American League. Do not have a steal in this series. Weeks is leaning, and he got a pretty good jump. Pennington fouls it to the left side. He had a little lean going that time, Weeks did.
When you're trying to steal with a couple of strikes on a batter, then you have to pay attention, because once contact is made, you have to pick up the ball. Ball fouled back, but you do not want to be doubled off. It's a hit and run. You automatically look back, but in a straight steal, your head is down.
Not running this time, and the pitch just misses outside. No swing. 2-2 the count.
What Greg Gibson saw, and the correct call. No swing.
Weeks is running this time, and the pitch is driven to center. Rasmus going back. Gliding back, and he's got it.
Plaza Club and Value Deck tickets offer jumbo ticket added value, which is included in the barcode of each ticket. The jumbo ticket added value is good for concessions and merchandise throughout the ballpark. For more information and to purchase, visit oaklandathletics.com/jumbo tickets. Watching Jamal Weeks again going on a straight steal, even though Pennington hit the ball deep to center field, but he got to second base and was kind of helplessly looking around, said, "Where's the ball?" And then picked it up. Fortunately, he had stepped on second base, and then without rounding the bag, just continued, went back to first base. And Ty Walters talking to him, or talked to him afterwards. You hear the contact, find the baseball.
Coco Crisp is 2 for 2, a couple of singles. Weeks takes off, throw to second base, hits Weeks as he goes with the head first slide and picks up his 14th stolen base. See, Coco helping him out with the bluff bunt.
Yeah, that's what Coco does well, keeping the catcher from coming out too quickly, and pulls the bat back. Jose Molina drew the ball, but not much of a chance to throw out the runner, although he got the footwork, had a good pitch outside, but threw a sinker to second, about like the sinker he got from Alvarez. Escobar checking with Jamal, see if he's okay, considering his right knee banged into his head after his helmet was off.
Ray, would you agree with me if I said I think Jemiah Weeks needs to start his slide sooner?
Yes.
He sails right past the bag every time.
Yeah. Well, it's something that, but see how close he gets to the bag when he starts, and bag's going to be there, and then momentum. You got to grab it with the left foot, the right foot, both feet.
Hold on.
Well, I'm sure Ricky Henderson is going to be taking Jemiah Weeks to the side in spring training. Maybe let him finish this season, not worry him. Something they can talk about next spring. Ricky was the best.
McCoy is under it. He's got it. A strand runner. So we're through 5 at the Coliseum. 2-1 Athletics. It's Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30. It's over on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Highlights from this ball game: the Raiders and the 49ers finishing up over at Candlestick Park, and we'll also get a recap of Giants Astros in Houston. Right here at the Coliseum, Gio Gonzalez is on a roll. He's retired 9 straight. And he has a 2-1 lead. At the top of the 6th. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Pitch count not too bad, 65 pitches. They face Escobar, Tehan, and Encarnacion.
It's one of the few changeups thrown tonight by Gio. Mostly good fastball and curveballs, but third time through the batting order. And a changeup. And I think what Gio would like, as he is pitching into the 6th inning, again, like you said, with a good pitch count, but a little bit more offense. 2-1. A's do have the lead, but
Escobar hits a high fly ball to center. That's out number 1.
We talked about how you figure a pitcher becomes a better pitcher when it's a low scoring game. You don't get a lot of run support, but over time it can take its toll. Make it very difficult because you get to the point where you think that make one mistake and you're going to get hurt.
Tehan takes inside, so 10 in a row now for Gio Gonzalez, and 14 out of the last 15. Tehan is in the game for Adam Lynn in the DH spot. Lynn hit by that pitch in the very first inning. So this is the second at bat for Tehan. And he shoots one toward the left side. Sogard stays with it and throws out Tehan. 2 outs.
Play like that would help you with your manager, and the ball club because that was a base hit. Looked like it was headed into left field. Nice play by Sogard on the short hop. So the ability to play all three infield positions for Sogard in the hot corner here, and comes up with it nicely once he had it in his hand. An easy throw to first.
Changeup stays outside to Encarnacion. Tries it again. How about that?
Well, it's got to be close enough so a hitter swings at it, and unfortunately the two were not.
That one hit hard. Sogard stays with it. And Gio Gonzalez rolls on. 12 in a row. Retired. Bottom of the 6th. Coming up. 2-1 Athletics. Back to the Coors Light 6th inning. It's time for the Coors Light Freeze Can.
Designated hitter, number 55, Takeshi Matsui.
Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. They're ready. And Matsui is going to lead it off. He'll be followed by Allen and Sweeney here in the bottom of the 6th. RBI single and a ground out for Matsui in the ball game. He's 2 for 6 in the series. Just a bit inside. Low strike called, so 1-2 the count. The White Sox beat the Rangers today 3-2 in Chicago. Tight ball game. Alex Rios broke a 2-2 tie with the double in the bottom of the 8th inning. Way inside.
Well, the Angels trying to beat the Orioles, and if they do, they'll pick up a game and will make them 5 behind the Rangers. Is Matsui, a little skip rope, a hard breaking pitch down and in, almost got him on the feet.
Now the Angels leading the Orioles 5-4 in the 6th inning down in Anaheim. So indeed an opportunity for the Angels, and with Texas, who continues to play well, you don't get a lot of opportunities to gain ground in the standings, but Angels have one tonight. Grounded into right center field, and that's a base hit for Matsui.
Hideki Matsui, very good RBI man, and he proves it here with a sinking fastball on Alvarez. That was in the first inning. Runners at first and third, and is able to drive in Matsui with a single to left field. The ball he just hit to the right of Jason McDonald. I'm surprised he didn't dive for the ball. McDonald's all over the place, or John McDonald, that is.
Well, there are McDonald's all over the place. Thames comes in, and he's got it. So that's out number one.
There's a sign up in the left field. I'm loving it. McDonald sign
everywhere.
There's McDonald at second base. Big Mac land.
Now batting, left fielder, number 15, Ryan Sweeney.
The Tigers got another win today over the team that's chasing them, the Indians. So this one had a dominant feel to it. Detroit 10, the Indians 1. So that's 2 in a row for the Tigers over the Indians. So their lead is now 3.5 in the AL Central. White Sox won. They stay 5 back. Of course, White Sox beat the Rangers. So AL Central, Detroit stretches out their lead for the second consecutive day over the Tribe. Pfister got the win for Detroit. 44,629 in Detroit. That's a big series, and they'll wrap it up tomorrow. Sweeney hits a high fly ball in the left field. More action for Thames. He's got it.
As close as Detroit and Cleveland are, that's pretty good chance fans from Cleveland drove over.
Yeah, good call
for the weekend series. Remember when the Indians were selling out 455 consecutive sellouts. Fans would go to cities close by. Sure. Toronto was one of them. Detroit,
Chicago, if you wanted to drive a little further.
But go to watch their team play because they sometimes could not get tickets in their home field. Now Boston, who knows? What are they? 600 and close to 700? I don't know. It just keeps going up.
Well, both the Red Sox and the Yankees lost tonight. Kansas City beat Boston 9-4. Royals scored 8 runs in the 6th inning. How about that? And the Twins beat the Yankees 9-4. Liriano over Burnett. Burnett got hammered. 7 earned runs in an inning and 2/3. So everything stays the same then in the AL East, with the Yankees holding a half-game lead over the Red Sox. The Rays shut out the Mariners 8-0. The Tampa Bay is not cashing it in just yet. They're starting to play really well. They've won 9 out of their last 11. They're now 8 back in the division and 7.5 back in the wild card. So they still got a lot of work to do, but they are playing good baseball. (2-0) to DeJesus. Make it 3-0, and it shoots past Molina. So Matsui will be in scoring position.
Well, the umpire definitely didn't kick this one, and Jose just trying to backhand the ball. And that's a wild pitch, and could have very easily been a pass ball. The ball really off the tip of the mitt of Molina. Well, Milwaukee won again.
Yeah.
Today.
And the Cardinals lost.
The Cardinals lost, so that's 8.5. And Houston won, so they remain 32.5 back.
Magic number. Well, somebody needs to tell. 3-0 pitch to DeJesus. Somebody needs to tell somebody in the National League West that somebody does have to win that division.
Right.
The Giants are playing just extremely poor baseball lately, but the Diamondbacks, they've lost 4 in a row. They lost again in Atlanta. Diamondbacks a tough road trip. Philadelphia, Atlanta, and then I believe they go to Washington. So they're on a long trip, not playing well. And so they had a chance to really stretch their lead over the Giants, and they have not been able to do that. So both Arizona and the Giants lose, so it's still 2.5 the deficit in the National League West, with Arizona in first, San Francisco in second.
I think the Giants were thinking playing Houston with the 41-84 record. They lost 84 games starting play today.
Now Houston has won 4.
I would think that the Giants had to be, well, the Braves are going to be hosting Arizona, and they're going to have to play Philadelphia. A chance for the Giants to pick up some ground, but that's not been the case. Meanwhile, David DeJesus did not have the green light, or did not swing 3-0, and this time he does draw the walk after last at bat going 3-2. Matter of fact, David has been full count 3-2 all 3 at bats tonight.
First walk issued by Alvarez, so 2 on, 2 out. Yeah, well, that National League East, the 2 teams in the East are flexing their muscles, boy. The Phillies are 38 games over 500. The Braves are 25 games over 500. So 1-0 to Landon Powell. Good time to start thinking about insurance runs for the Athletics. Changeup is high, 2-0.
Joe Gonzalez would like to get some more run support. Last night, Rich Harden went 7 innings. He struck out Rasmussen. He got the last out striking out Escobar. That was going to be his last battle in the game. Got the strikeout because Bob Melvin was not going to let him go beyond it. He threw to 115 pitches. What a performance by Rich Harden last night. Gio Gonzalez following up tonight, just 3 hits and 1 run.
Matsui at second, Jesus at first, and the pitch is outside. 3-1. 106 pitches now for Henderson Alvarez. Powell in a hitter's count as he waits. Grounds that one up the middle. Escobar flips backhand, and they got him.
Oh my goodness.
Sensational play by Yunel Escobar, and they just get to Jesus at second base.
Another run, but a great play by Escobar. Watch this play. The ball looks like it's going up the middle. He catches it behind the bag, and look at this. It's flipped behind his back, and there's John McDonald. Here's the McDonald's on the the other end of making this spectacular place, but what a great foot right on the bag by Escobar. And McDonald was there. This is an unbelievable play. You know the old saying, you come to the park, you see something you've never seen. I've never seen a play like that. And barely gets David DeJesus at second, so instead of the bases loading, infield hit for Landon Powell, Escobar makes a tremendous play and just barely gets DeJesus with McDonald there. Still over the bag?
Yeah, he was out.
Foot was above.
Yeah. Outside to Colby Rasmus, so 7th inning. Rasmus, Laurie, and Molina. Good breaking ball. Eric Thames led off the 3rd inning with a base hit. He later stole a base, but Gonzalez has not allowed a hit since then. He's got 4 strikeouts. He's walked 1 and he's hit a batter. Check swing, and he went around on the high fastball. Strikeout number 5. Here's our Farmers Insurance report card. The newest Hall of Famer is Roberto Alomar. He went in as a Blue Jay. 17 seasons. Only 5 with the Blue Jays, but they were the good times in Toronto when they won a couple of World Series. 10-time Gold Glove winner. Finished with 2,724 hits. So he was there at the right time. But you think he was there longer, but 5 years.
Well, you win 2 world championships, it's like you're there forever.
Yeah, that's
as far
true.
as the minds of the Blue Jay fans. And so I thought the note at the bottom was interesting as the first number to be retired by the Blue Jays. They had their, let's see, the Ring of Fame, or what do they call it, where they put players. And Dave Steve, as a matter of fact, the number 37, Dave Steve, local young man, retired and former Blue Jay. He's been here for this weekend series.
Strike 3 called with a breaking ball. 6 strikeouts for Gio Gonzalez.
Well, Robbie Alomar, I think Tony La Russa said it best. He can beat you in so many different ways. He could hit you with a single, he could steal a base, he could make a Gold Glove play at second base, which he had a lot of Gold Gloves, and this is probably the biggest one. He was trying to hit a sac fly. He ends up hitting a home run. And that was in 93. 92, 93, one of those years. They won back-to-back World Series. But Eck was criticized for that, but she'd never been in the ball game. Gio Gonzalez pitching like Joe Blanton, Mark Mulder, guys pitched on fireworks nights where just dominated. Yeah. So far, he has been very dominating. Especially after the first inning when he loaded the bases. 1 hit since then.
And ahead 0-2 to Jose Molina. Fastball swing and a miss, and Gio Gonzalez strikes out the side. 7th inning stretch coming up. 2-1 A's. Fitting when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and tune up your oil change unit for the smog expert. Jesse Litch goes in, the right-hander. Henderson Alvarez goes 6 innings. Pitches pretty well, but he's caught up in a duel with Gio Gonzalez, and Gio looks like he's at his best. So Eric Sogard to lead it off. He takes a strike in the inside corner.
Litch has pitched well against the A's this year, especially in relief in Toronto. Last road trip for the A's.
Sogard bounces it in. It's just foul past Encarnacion. So Alvarez gives up 2 runs, 1 earned. So the McDonald error right now is a very big play in this game. I don't know that it would have been a double play, but he would have got the runner at second for sure. Man, that's one of the better fielders in baseball, John McDonald.
And you're looking at a very good offensive team. And granted, Bautista was scratched late, and Adam Lynn, after 1 AB, had to leave, or the second. That was his first in the first inning when he was hit. But Bautista is not in the lineup. So you look at what Alvarez did tonight: 1 earned run, 6 innings. And with an offense that the Blue Jays had, you figure they're going to score more than 1 run. But Gio Gonzalez, you have to tip your cap to him for the exceptional job he has done.
To right field, coming in quickly is McCoy. He got a nice jump and makes the catch. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. A's bullpen is quiet.
Number 19, Jamal Wish.
Since Gio threw 25 pitches in the first inning, he's gone 9, 13, 7, 10, 10, 11. So
he's all right.
Yeah, there's no reason for anybody to be up, especially the way he is pitching.
Jamal Weeks takes the first pitch strike. Swing there, Jamal almost swung out of his shoes, but he got a pitch to hit, it looked like.
Maybe if he goes to Fenway, or when the A's go to Fenway, and maybe he bats right-handed, wind's blowing out over the Green Monster, he might get a chance to get his first home run. But no reason to try.
Loops that one toward left field. Thames was playing shallow. He's near the line, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So Jamal Weeks is now 1 for 4.
Now batting, shortstop, number 2.
And Pennington will hit.
Pennington.
Pennington is 1 for 3. He doubled and scored in the first inning. It's a fastball first strike. A's have out hit the Blue Jays 7-3 in the game. Breaking ball from Litch. You're right, Ray. He always looks good against the A's, Jesse Litch. You've seen him as a starter. Now pitching out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Pitch.
Maybe Bruce Walter now has all of his pitchers turning their back to the hitter. Alvarez has started, did it. Now Jesse Litch has a little bit of a turn, and
that one's hit well to right field. McCoy going back, still going back over the shoulder. He makes a nice play. Pennington put a charge into it, comes up a little short. We're on to the 8th. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Whether it's a steam train through the Redwood Forest or the beach train to Santa Cruz, Roaring Camp is the ride of a lifetime. RoaringCamp.com.
Well, that was outstanding. That's a great read, all the while in ultra mode. McCoy making the catch over his shoulder in right field.
Good play.
Choreographed that perfectly.
John McDonald on the first pitch of the top of the 8th has a base hit to center field. So 15 consecutive hitters retired. That stretch stops on the McDonald single.
Mike McCoy.
Fuentes de los Santos. So just the 4th hit for Toronto. Now the top of the order, Mike McCoy. Shows bunt, takes a strike down around the knees.
First time out of the stretch for Gio since the 3rd inning after Thames singled and then he struck out the side.
Just 87 is the pitch count for Gio Gonzalez. So you're right. Well, he has really been in control. McCoy again shows bunt, takes this one low.
Well, even though Thames, a left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle, he has a couple of hits, 2 of the 4 hits by the Blue Jays against Gio. So left in the on-deck circle, and McCoy trying to sacrifice the runner to second.
This one bunted. Allen picks it up, drops it, picks it up again, and then tags him. A little snow cone, but was able to hold on.
When he's lucky, when he did have the ball in his glove after bobbling the ball and then tagged the runner, could very easily knock the ball out of his glove.
Now batting.
Bobbled there
46,
and then picked it up,
Derek
and
Williams.
boy, he is lucky. Though the first baseman's mitt is quite long, reached back, able to stop it. He actually overran the ball on the bunt. Whew. A lot of that baseball showing.
Here's Thames, tying run at second base. Way outside with a breaking ball. Thames is 2 for 3 in the game, 3 for 10 in the series. Walked a couple of times. Escobar is in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss as Thames chased a pitch up around his eyes.
I think the bullpen activity right now says something about Grant Balfour. The 8th is normally his inning, and as he has been pitching quite a bit lately and not up, indicating he has the night off. Uh-oh.
I thought the same thing.
I hope your neck is still hurt. I would venture to say he's going to be in the game for this night is over.
Well, the designated hitter spot is coming up. High fastball. Thames chased it again. Fouls this one back.
You're right. The designated hitter tonight, left-handed hitter, was Adam Lynn. Now Mark Teahan.
That's a couple hitters away, that spot. Swing and a miss. Thames, don't know that he swung at a strike in that at bat, and Gonzalez will take it.
They saw his numbers over his last 11 runner in scoring position, make it 12 now. Went after the curveball. The high fastball definitely was a ball. This curveball out of the strike zone, and
Now batting,
maybe a little bit anxious with the runner in scoring position, and
Encarnacion.
a big strikeout for Gio, giving him 8.
Correction. Now batting number 5, Vidal Escobar.
So here's Escobar. Escobar is 0 for 3 tonight. He's 0 for 12 in the series. So he's a struggling hitter right now, but a good hitter. A couple of fly balls and a strikeout.
That first curveball looked like a pretty good one. Surprised it was not called a strike.
Escobar takes the fastball for a strike.
It's a case where Gio Gonzalez has to look back at John McDonald, knowing that no one is holding him close. Maybe take a look, but don't pay attention to him. Because if a spin move trying to keep him close is not going to help, because nobody is there. They want to hold their position short and second. Concentration 100% on the hitter with the tying run at second. Gio with 8 strikeouts, 3 on fastballs, 5 on the curveball.
Uribe is looking for the right bat. Line drive, foul. 2-2 the count. Well, he's got one pitch to play with a little bit. Escobar thinks maybe he broke his bat.
Well, the pitch that he can take a chance with is the hard curve to the back foot, and see if he can get a strikeout if he goes that route, and not worry if it happens to be a wild pitch, as long as there's not a swing in a wild pitch. But McDonald is at second, not third. A fastball up in the zone, hard curveball.
Fastball, and it was up, and Escobar stays alive. Moving around in that Blue Jays dugout. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a breaking ball. 9 strikeouts for Gio Gonzalez, and the A's hanging on to that 2-1 lead.
Deck? No way!
Ready games. Our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Hideki Matsui in the first inning tied up the game. This was a big play. Error by John McDonald in the fourth. The A's would get a run on the double play, and that would give the A's the 2-1 lead. And that is where we are at right now. Gio Gonzalez, 9 strikeouts. He struck out 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. In the 8th inning, the Blue Jays had the tying run at second and 1 out. So Gio Gonzalez, terrific. It's the A's with the 2-1 lead. 2-7-0 for the Athletics. 1-4-1 for the Blue Jays. Jesse Litch, who had a 3-up, 3-down 8th inning, back out there for, or 7th inning, back out there for the 8th. First pitch to Crisp is high. Andrew Bailey starts to throw out in the A's bullpen.
Can't really say other than the last inning. In the first inning, Gio Gonzalez not really had a stress-free night. Nope. And it's been kind of in the middle, 2nd through the 7th. Retired everybody except one batter. So Bob Melvin with Andrew Bailey warming in the bullpen. And usually if the closer comes in the game, he likes to start the inning. 100 pitches for Gio. So what you got, B.A.? 100.
Two now to Coco Crisp. Well, Tehan, Encarnacion, Rasmus are the 3 scheduled hitters. And of course, Batista. Will he get in the game? Strike 3 called. Coco knew it, down around the knees. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Out on the inside corner, and I don't know that Coco heard anything or just knew it was a strike and headed back to the dugout.
So Hideki Matsui, it's his 4th at bat. He's had a good night, 2 for 3. Singled in that run in the first. Angels still leading the Orioles. It's now 6-4, and that game is in the 8th inning. Angels with a chance to pick up a game on the Texas Rangers. A pop up. McDonald calls off Encarnacion, and that's out number 2. So Matsui 2 for 4, and Brandon Allen strides to the plate.
Now batting, first baseman.
So 1 more game in the series. Obviously, that's tomorrow, and then the A's a long road trip. They will leave on Monday. 3 in New York, 3 in Boston, 4 in Cleveland. So at least you're not really playing any quality teams. You know, I mean, what's the big deal, right? It's a 10-gamer. Oh,
well, I know a couple of guys going to Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park, first time. Allen short time with. I don't think he'd be able to Diamondbacks. We know Jamal Wicks is not.
So a challenge road trip for the Athletics. Obviously, all 3 of those teams, well, they're all planning on being in the postseason. The first 2 will be the Indians' schedule work to do. Allen rips one to left center field, and that's going to be off the top of the wall. And Allen is going to have a sliding 2-out double.
A shorter wall, folks, and that's a home run. That ball was crushed, and it hardly took any time to get up on the jagged edge in left center. Hanging curveball, and Brandon Allen, opposite field, bullet. Just coming down a little bit too quickly, about 5 feet from the top of the wall, but we saw him over the weekend opposite field against the Rangers, and great opposite field shot here. Now can the A's get a hit for an insurance run?
It's up to Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney takes inside. Fourth inning. That was one of the big plays in the game. Sweeney hit the ground ball to McDonald that he booted. The play was all said and done. The A's had first and third and nobody out, and they got a run out of it.
There's a chance for Brandon Allen, a good base runner, to get a huge lead off second base because Thames in left field is playing very shallow, and that's where Ryan Sweeney likes to go, opposite field. And Allen has a chance to get halfway to third base once contact is made. Because typically with 2 outs, here's a shortstop, second baseman, so they're playing way off the bag, holding their position, so that enables the runner at second to get the huge lead and hopefully not make it close at the plate if there is a base hit to the outfield, especially to left field.
Sweeney had a good swing and a fastball. So the count is even at 2-2.
Josh Willingham getting a bat and helmet. Is that maybe if the lefty comes in from the bullpen for one of the many lefties, 9 exactly for the A's in the lineup. Might see Josh Willingham.
Close pitch, just a bit inside.
Now throw that little fastball away and let Sweeney go to left field. How's that? Base hit left field.
Outfielders are shallow. And there is a base hit to left field. And it forces Thames to move to his left, and that allows Allen to come in to score. If it's right at him, you may have a play at the plate, but Thames had to slide to his left a little bit, and the A's get a big insurance run.
That is huge. And John Farrell coming out. But Ryan Sweeney, one of the best going opposite field, and he does it to perfection. And you're right, forcing Thames to go to his left. But Brandon Allen, again, smart base runner, able to get the big lead off second base, and the A's do get an insurance run.
So it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Ryan Sweeney with the 2-out RBI hit to get the A's their 3rd run. And we got a pinch hitter. Willingham's going to hit for DeJesus as the Blue Jays have run in the lefty Rami Lewis. Willingham, the pinch hit at bat here in the 8th. Very high ERA for Rami Lewis. Those numbers are AAA numbers. 6.60 ERA. Fastball is inside to even the count at 1-1. Bailey's been warming up for a while. Quickly into the seats. So a 2-out rally by the A's has helped them get a 3rd run.
San Bautista still on the bench. And Sabiak was going to pinch hit, looked like for Tien, but the bat did not come up. Thanks to the big curveball by Gio Gonzalez, getting Escobar. Sneaky fastball by Lewis. He threw in mid-90s with a fastball, along with the 3 other pitches: curveball, slider, and changeup. Willingham has hit 11 home runs against lefties this year. 11 of the 21.
Rip at that one. A fastball, 93 miles an hour. Now Lewis is finally ready. That is a foul ball.
Well, that's a run. That's another run.
Mike Gallegos talking to Greg Gibson. Checking in.
Well, it happened so quickly, and Josh Willingham pulled the ball, pulled the hands in, and
remember, it's what happens when it goes past first base, or the bag, I should say, third base, the bag. It hit fair in front of the bag, landed foul after it went past the bag. So there's the decision for Gibson. Another foul ball by Willingham. And listen, this is not criticism of an umpire, but it's a guess call.
That's right.
I mean, it is. I mean, it'd be a guess call for anybody, unless you can stop the baseball and see where it is going over the bag. You're making a guess. There's really, I mean, you doing what you.
Well, let me tell you.
What it looked like, but the ball's traveling 90, 100 miles an hour.
Well, and there are times where you see the umpire trying to get out of the way and then trying to determine the call.
I mean, the ball's, 3-4 feet above the bag, and he's got to make a split-second reaction of whether it crossed the bag or. See, if you could stop the baseball in air and then draw a straight line down from the baseball, and then you would see exactly if it was the right call.
Instant replay.
I don't know that you'd be able to do that.
Boy, that'd be tough drawing that straight line.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, we don't want more replays. Home runs, that's all.
Fair foul is coming in.
Yeah, still going to slow down the game.
Another 2-2. And this one's hit to left. And that baby is gone.
Unbelievable, Josh Willingham. He sits on the bench. He got the bullet. Going to give him the night off. Bring him in. Home run. Another lefty. This time the pitch hit home run on a fastball. They tried to get it in, and he knew it. And so did Robbie Lewis. Boy, does that sound great. Josh Willingham. Wow. Not a cheapie either.
So Willingham gets his 22nd home run and RBI 72 and 73. Those are home runs since the break. Some strong finish for Willingham. All started with 2 outs. Double by Allen, single by Sweeney, homer by Willingham.
Well, it's a non-save situation, but Andrew Bailey is still loosening the bullpen. Gio Gonzalez 100 pitches. And I think he had been told pretty much he's out of the game after the 8 innings. So the A's just hopeful of getting a win. So since Bailey is loose, I would think Bob Melvin's going to just have him come in.
Real pitch is a strike to Landon Powell. Powell is 0 for 3. Was robbed of a hit in the 6th inning by the shortstop Escobar.
The game in New York 2009 following the Minnesota game, Gio Gonzalez pitched after 6 innings. He was out of the game, told he's not going out. A's took the lead. He went back out. And so sometimes it's better not to say anything. But 100 pitches, he's going to be out anyway.
Powell's retired, but the A's get 3 big insurance runs. Willingham, a 2-run pinch hit home run. 5-1 as we head to the ninth. Andrew Bailey comes in. He'll face Tihan Encarnacion and Colby Rasmus here in the top of the ninth. He's trying to make it 2 in a row for the Blue Jays after the Blue Jays won game 1 of the series. Should be the first out of the ninth. Sogar near the mound has it. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Bailey comes in the non-save situation.
Now batting, number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Connor Jackson now in the game in left. Sweeney goes over to right. DeJesus is out. Willingham pinch hit for DeJesus. So Gio Gonzalez, sensational tonight. 8 innings. Worked his way through a tough first inning, and then he just rolled. This one's popped up on the infield. And that is out, number 2.
Time now for the Fremont Bay plays of the game. Gio Gonzalez was spectacular, and Gio, after the first inning, he did load the bases like Rich Harden last night. He got out of the jam, giving up just 1 run, and then he turned it on. The curveball, the fastball, a few changeups, but big curveball he had working. That was the final strikeout. Getting Escobar struck out 2 in the 8th inning. Finished with 9 and finished with 100 pitches, and what a performance. And last night Rich Harden 7. And Gio Gonzalez, talking to Rich Harden last night, he said it was so important to be able to finish 7 innings last night. And same for Gio today, go 8 innings instead of walking off in the middle of the inning. Finish it and walk off proudly. And Rich did last night and Gio tonight.
Colby Rasmus is 0 for 2 with a walk. Bailey trying to finish it up. Ripped into the seats foul, so now it's 1 and 2. I'll be with you tomorrow. It'll be 12:30 with A's pregame live, and 1 o'clock the series finale, homestand finale. Guillermo Moscoso and Luis Perez will be your pitching matchup, so join us for that. The A's can hang on and win this one. Going tomorrow with a chance to take 3 out of 4 from the Blue Jays. And momentum going out on a tough road trip. Jerry Davis does not want to raise that right hand. 3-2 the count. This one's popped up. And this should do it. Allen and Weeks come together. It'll be Weeks. Couple steps into foul territory. He's got it. And that's the ball game. So the A's use great pitching. Insurance runs late. And they win game 3 of the series by a final score of 5-1. Behind terrific pitching from Gio Gonzalez. Gio is going to join us on A's postgame live, so stick around for that. Final score, Athletics 5 and the Blue Jays 1. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Henry Wolford and Fernando Vigna is set to go from the studio.